Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church, and I'm happy to be here with you today to spend another day talking about Jacob. And here we find in Genesis chapter 32 his story as he continues to prepare for a reunion with his brother Esau. Let's look at verse 13. Jacob stayed where he was for the night, and then he presented these gifts from his possessions to his brother Esau: 200 female goats, 20 male goats, 200 ewes, 20 rams, 30 female camels and their young, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 2 female donkeys, and 10 male donkeys. He divided these animals into herds and assigned each one to different servants. And he told the servants, "Go ahead of me with the animals, and keep some distance between the herds." He gave these instructions: "When my brother Esau meets you, he will ask, 'Whose servants are you? Where are you going? Who owns these animals?' You must reply, 'They belong to your servant Jacob, but they are a gift for his master Esau. Look, he's coming right behind us.'" Jacob thought, "I will try to appease him by sending gifts ahead of me. When I see him in person, perhaps he will be friendly to me." This continues a really sad saga. This man, Jacob, who deceived his brother horribly, is trying to go home. And he's already been told that his brother has 400 men waiting to attack him. So he gets the brilliant idea: okay, I'll send him some gifts. So he sends him a bunch of animals. Now, just think about in the days when, if you were lucky to own a few sheep, to be able to get cows and goats and male goats and donkeys and camels and little ones. I mean, this was an enormous gift. I guess Joseph or Jacob thought, well, I can overwhelm him with kindness and then he'll forget. Well, I think sometimes we try to do that. This is a story about a man who did wrong, but he kind of learned his lesson, or at least some of it. He got mistreated by his own father-in-law, kind of a tit for tat, if you will. And he desperately wants to go home. And he doesn't know what to do except try to appease his brother before he sees him. Now, where's the good news in this? That's the theme of all of my devotionals: encouraging news. Well, the encouragement here is that you and I are often like Jacob. We've done something wrong. And rather than say we did something wrong and apologize, we just try to appease the person by giving them things. Somehow maybe they'll forget. You see, you can give gifts until the cows come home, as they say. But that won't necessarily make any difference. It might show that you're trying to be different, but then maybe all you're trying to do is just look like you're different. See, God sees our hearts. He knows what's inside that motivates us to do whatever it is we do. He sees you and me all the time. He's forever looking to see how we are putting things together, how we're living our lives. Here Jacob is afraid of his brother, and he's got good reason to be afraid. But rather than try to just say, "I'm sorry," he's going to shower him with animals. Now, we're going to learn here shortly what happens here, but I'll save that for another day. I know it's tempting to tell the whole story, but we'll just wait, keep you thinking about it. I'd like to ask you to think about your life today. Are you like Jacob? Have you done something in the past and then tried to appease the person, hoping that they'll forget about it? You know, a lot of family relationships are like that. A lot of parents mistreat their kids when they're younger. Then when they get older, they think they can bribe them with money or gifts or things, and it make a difference. So many divorces have have been a part of someone trying to bribe a kid into forgetting what things were like. God doesn't want us to be that way. He wants us to be honest and open and admit our mistakes. As a parent, at one time I apologized to every one of my kids. I apologized for anything that I did that was wrong. And I'm in it. And I think they accepted that. I wasn't a perfect father. I did what I thought was right. But I knew I had made mistakes. It would have been better if I'd have corrected them at the time, but for whatever reason, I guess that didn't happen. Or it did happen and I just wasn't sure of it. When we make a mistake, God wants us to humble ourselves and honestly and completely say, hey, I messed up. Will you forgive me for that? Now, there's no guarantee the person's going to respond to you. That's for sure. As they say in counseling, if you've been a part of a life of a toxic person, you can forgive them, but you don't give them a chance to destroy you again. But if you're genuinely sorry that you've messed up, God will work with that. He'll figure out a way. God will figure out a way for Jacob to get through this. In fact, he did. And I can tell you that because this is a long time after the fact, and I read the story. But Jacob couldn't read the story. He just had to live it. And you and I have to live our stories, whatever they are. But we can live them knowing that God is in control and God is going to work things right if that's what our heart is really about. So you think about yours, I'll think about mine, and we'll see what God's trying to tell us. Thanks for listening. If you have a concern or a need, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. So until I come back tomorrow and share some thoughts, you have a great day. Take care of yourself, be safe, and I'll talk to you again.